Hey friends, in this video we are going to be talking about our literacy skill for the week, which is main idea and key details. So we are going to look through our story, our big literature book for this week, Anna Goes to Washington, D.C., and we are going to make our own graphic organizer that will talk about and organize our thoughts and help us really figure out what the main idea and some of the key details in our story. So first things first, you need a pencil and a piece of paper, and I need you to set your paper up just like this. So I have my name at the top, and then I have one big box that has the words main idea in red, and then I drew some lines to some smaller boxes that have the words detail in them. In a graphic organizer, it's a type of chart that uses pictures and words to help us put all of our information that we know from a story or an idea in a very neat way so that we can understand what we are talking about. So our story is called Anna Goes to Washington, D.C., and we're not going to go through the whole story, but we're going to head on over to page 6. Now, I know from the title of the story, Anna Goes to Washington, D.C., and then looking at Anna and Sarah holding a large map. On this page it says, "Look, Sarah, we will visit all these places." So that tells me that the main idea is that the family is going to be looking at different places in Washington, D.C. And if we look at page 5, it tells us that we are in Washington, D.C., and that it is the capital of the United States. And so we are going to put on our graphic organizer, the first thing that we're going to put on our graphic organizer is the main idea. And the main idea is that Washington, D.C. has many historic symbols of the USA. And so we're going to write that here. Pause this video if you need to make sure that you copy this down. Alright, so now let's flip through our big literature book and see what some of the historic places are in the story. So we know that the main idea is that Washington, D.C. has many historic symbols. On page 14, what is this place? What is this place called, if you remember? It is called the White House. And so one of our key details, one of our historic symbols that we have covered in this book is the White House. So we can add White House to our first detail. That is one of the first places that they visited. Now, there may have been some other places that they saw before that, but this is one of the details that we are going to put into our chart. Let's keep going. On the very next page, Anna and her family visit somewhere else. What is this place called? Do you remember? Well, if you don't remember, you can always reread to figure out what this place is. It says on page 17, "It is the Capitol building. They make laws here." Okay, so now we know that another key detail of the story is that the Capitol building is a historic symbol of the United States of America. So we can put Capitol building in our second detail. Give you some time to copy this down if you need to. Pause the video if you need to. Alrighty, and then The last place that they visited, the last historic symbol that they visited that we're going to look at is this place right here. What is this place called? What is this place called? If I reread, I can definitely figure it out. It says, "Look, I know the man in the statue. He is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and he had a dream for everyone to be treated fairly. This is his memorial," Tia Luisa said. So now, having reread page 22, we know that the family visited Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s memorial. So that is our last key detail that we can add into our main idea detail chart. And so now that we have filled in our chart, our graphic organizer, we have a very clear and easy way to remember what the main idea, what the story was all about. It was about Anna visiting Washington, D.C., and Washington, D.C. has many historic symbols. Each of these details tells us which one of the historic symbols that we looked at in the story. My question to you is, what other historic symbols did they visit? Brainstorm with your class and add some other key details to this main idea. What other places did they visit? Have fun brainstorming.